All right, good afternoon, everyone. Sunday, July 21st, 2024. Kind of short notice here, but we decided to do the podcast today. We've been doing it a lot of Sundays lately, anyways. So get it out of the way. You guys can listen to it and then enjoy the rest of your day as well. So, anyways, MMAOB Daily Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin, and Big Marcel is here as well. Marcel, we're going to recap UFC Vegas 94 on this podcast. Then we'll start a new one, and we'll preview UFC 304. So, how's it going, man?
Doing well, man. Pretty hot over here. It's not like Las Vegas hot or whatever, but it's just the humidity always sucks always here. So, yeah, kind of hot. And that's it pretty much. We watched the fights yesterday. Was an okay card. I feel the main card was pretty good. I feel the prelim sucked. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think the card turned out to be, really good, to be honest with you. Unexpectedly good for me. I thought there were some good fights on paper heading into it, but I think the card turned out to be really good personally, Marcel. We'll get your rating in a second here, but I just want to get some comments here. What's up, Ben? What's up, Ray? And all divisions for Virna. That's funny. Joe, what's up, man? Glad to have you here. Tristan, what's up, man? Craig, what's up, brother? Joe, card was good. I think it was really good. I think I probably have a higher opinion of this card than Marcel. I think the card was like, see, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say 7, right?
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking an 8. But the thing is, the prelims were not very good. That's the problem. So, because I think the main card was like a 9.5. I really do. I think the main card was fucking amazing. I think almost every fight was delivered heavily. And then the prelims were probably a 3, though. That's the problem. So you're right. I guess on average it's maybe a 7, but I think the main card really elevated it. So anyways, we'll get into the fights, guys. We'll go one by one. Break it down, recap it for you guys. Picks wise, I think okay. I mean, it was 7-4, not bad. We did lose a fight. We should talk about that really quick. Jung Young Park got sick or something. You know what happened? Because he looked good on the scale. What happened?
No idea, man. He was smiling on the scale. It looked good. I have no idea, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand either. I don't get it, but we lost that fight. Do you have any idea what they're going to do? They're going to rebook it? You heard anything?
I have no idea.
No. Well, anyways, we lost that fight, but I mean, overall, I think it was still a pretty good card. Like I said, I did pretty good in my pick, 7-4. There was one underdog they called last week, Bruno Silva. He ended up being the favorite, but and then there was a few other. Oh, Trey Ogden, that was our consensus dog. We both had. Where's Marcel? He's gone. Hopefully, he joins back in. We did have a consensus underdog, guys. Trey Ogden. And I can't remember if Luana Carolina was an underdog last week or not. It was close to even money at least. What's up, Marcel? There you are. No, I was saying we had a consensus dog again with Ogden, and I can't remember if Carolina was or not. It might have been slight favorite. I can't remember now, but she was not a huge favorite by any means. So we had a few nice picks, and then obviously we had some bad picks too. But overall,
main card picks were horrible, man. Prelims were pretty good. Yeah.
I think I went 1, 2, 3, 3-3, dude. Nothing special. I went 4-1 in the prelims, and then 3-3. You went 2-4
on the main card.
Yeah. It was there was 4 straight underdogs or something. Anyways, let's get into it. Main event. I mean, I called this fight perfectly, guys. Virna Jandiroba by sub. I called it perfectly. I'm pretty sure you said sub too, didn't you?
Yeah, but I say later rounds.
Yeah, I thought so too, but whatever. I mean, we still got the sub right. Virna's good, man. I mean, this is actually a pretty good fight, to be honest with you. Lemos showed some pretty good defensive grappling in that first round. And then as the fight went on, you just saw that Virna was just levels above on the ground. Virna's a very good fighter. She's won 4 straight fights. She's 7-3 now in the UFC. I think she's ready for a title shot. We'll see if Tatiana gets it. I don't understand where she is. It feels like that girl's been in the UFC for almost 10 years and fights once every 2 years. I think Tatiana should be next, but she barely fights. So honestly, if they gave it to Virna, I don't have a problem with it. She's way more active. What do you think?
Yeah, it's either a title shot for Virna or they can give her Yan Xiaonan maybe. That would make sense. But one of those two, she's close. She deserves it, in my opinion. Good finish. I mean, the champion didn't finish Lemos,
I know.
So
she looked good, man. For Lemos, bad loss. She's lost 2 of her last 3 fights now, but still one of the top 10 girls for sure. Very tough. But I think Virna's she's just improving every time we see her fight, guys, and that's why I picked her in this fight, and that's why Marcel also picked her. Co-main event, Steve Garcia knocks out SeungWoo Choi. I really like, there's some fights on here that I obviously got wrong, which, I'll put my hand up and say I got them wrong. I don't understand why so many people were betting on SeungWoo Choi. I don't get it at all. This guy is the worst chin probably in the division, and Steve Garcia is one of the hardest hitters in the division. It just didn't make sense. Garcia 4 straight wins now by knockout, Marcel. He's 5-2 in the UFC with 5 knockouts. He's definitely ready for a top 15 guy, right? Steve Garcia?
Yeah, man, or either somebody close to the top 15. You're it's 145, so I think there are a lot of options over there.
SeungWoo Choi's been dropped in his last 4 fights. He's been dropped 6 times in his last 4 fights. He did beat your boy Yarno in a close fight, but if he lost that fight, it'd be 5 straight losses. So he's 1-4 in his last 5. I think they'll give him another fight, but like this guy should never be in a co-main event. I mean, that was, we did lose a fight, but it should never come to that, Marcel? Like the card should be deeper where SeungWoo Choi is not co-main event. Although, like this guy's right, Mean Machine is must-see TV at this point. Steve Garcia has turned out to have a really good UFC career, man. I remember when he fought in Bellator against like Joe Warren years ago, Marcel, and I'm like, who is this guy? He's turned to be a good fighter. He's turned to be a really good fighter, right? So,
true.
Let's go to the next fight here. This was a good fight too. Kurt Holloway defeats K.N. Kushevsky by decision. Very good fight. Very close fight. The judges got it right. Kurt did more. Kurt was more active. Kurt, really, I think it was the control time that won him the fight. It was a very close fight. Really, I think it was just him being on top more, ended up getting the decision. I mean, both guys, they went to war, man. K.N. showed a really good chin in this fight too. I'll give him some credit. What do you think of this fight?
Was a good fight. I think people were like that it was a crazy, amazing fight. I was like, yeah, it's a good fight, but
it was good, but not like fight of the night, I don't think.
Yeah, it's like, how do you say that? It looked not really technical. Maybe I'm weird here, but I felt like it was a lot of how do you say it? Overthrowing by some guys. And the thing with Holloway is what was smart is that he kept pushing the pace, And optical, it's always looking better for the judges if you keep pushing the pace. I think he deservedly won the fight. It was competitive, it was close, but I think he won the fight.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that one. It saves him his job anyways. I think they'll give Kanan another fight. And he's 0-2 now, but I think they'll give him another fight. The guy's like not bad. You think they'll give him
one was super short notice, so yeah.
Yeah, they'll give, and he lost to Brenner in his first fight. Like that's not a bad loss by any means. Comeback of the night, Bruno Silva knocks out Cody Durden. I got this pick right. So it's crazy. Last week he was the underdog, and then he flipped to a favorite. So money came in on Bruno Silva, and 4 straight wins now by stoppage, Marcel. This guy's won 4 straight bonuses. The UFC loves this guy, obviously. But I gotta be honest, like Durden was beating the shit out of him. He was. Durden was dominating this fight. He won the first round, old scorecards, and was winning the second round. I don't know what happened. I guess he gassed out. He was going crazy. What did you think happened?
It was really weird, man. At a certain moment, Silva was able to stand up, and then he touched him, and then out of nowhere, it was pretty much over. And Durden was completely, in my opinion, dominating the fight. So, good for Silva, good comeback. Sucks for Durden, Silva's going to be ranked for the first time now.
Good, he deserves it. He does deserve it. I mean, Durden's not bad at all, but I think Bruno's a step ahead, obviously. But it was a competitive fight. I don't know. The one thing I'll say about this fight, I don't know. What did you think of the commentary last night? What did you think of it about it? Did you listen to the American broadcast or no?
Until the Durden Silva fight, because after that the Dutch commentary worked, and I have to check that.
Oh yeah.
So. Why? What you want to say?
I just thought it was a little off last night. I don't know. Like they kept making jokes about the mother's milk thing. Like that's a white belt submission. Like it's funny the first time we talked about it. But they talked about it almost every other fight after that.
What's the mother? What did you say? The
smother choke. The smother choke.
The smother choke.
Yeah, like where you like stick your tits into a guy's face. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like a fat guy. That's what white belts do in the first day. I used to do that, guys. When I used to roll. That's the easiest choke you can do in the first day. But like, it's funny the first time they talked about it, they kept talking about it throughout the card. I don't know. And then even in this fight, Laura was saying like, "Oh, these guys have trained together, and like they know that Cody's better on the feet." And I'm like, "What the hell is she talking about?" And then Bruno brutally knocks him out. So I don't know what she was talking about. And I like Laura a lot. I think she's great, but like that comment to me was a little odd. I don't know. And also like during the Ogden fight, you could tell she was a little biased towards Trey too. Like
I mean, I like Laura, but I like her more as an interviewer after the fight.
I think she's a good commentator, but I don't know. I just don't think it was her best night. I don't know.
I'm not a big fan of that. Listen, she's good. I don't give her. I'm not want to be a dick here, but
sure,
as a commentator, I don't really feel it. But it's the same with DC. I also don't feel it. You know,
Yeah.
Paul Felder I think is great, for example. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's like I feel like sometimes the commentary is pretty off, you know, and they keep saying Jandiroba. It's also really annoying to me because it's not her name, Jandiroba. It's Jandiroba. It's Jandiroba, not Jandiroba. There is no D, you know.
I don't know why they started calling her that a few years ago, and then they haven't stopped. It's wrong, you know. We've heard the pronunciation. You asked Tiago Okamura, her manager, right? Tiago. It's not. It's Jandiroba. It's exactly how it's spelled. It's not Jandiroba. I think John Anik started saying it like that, and John's great too. And John usually gets the pronunciations right, but he didn't hear this one right. You know, so they've kind of screwed it up now. They're calling, and this girl's going to fight for the title, and they're screwing her name up.
It's just like they screw up Manon Fiorot. You know, it's not Manon Fiorot.
Yeah, that one's still Anyways, I just wanted to ask your thoughts about that. Like, again, I think they're good commentators usually. Like, but.
You know what I said in the Discord, but I'm not going to say that here because I'm going to get a lot of comments from people. So
so the next fight here, Choi knocks out Bill Algeo. Huge win for Dooku, man. Like, he needed his first win in 8 years, which is crazy. Over 8 years. That is crazy. Algeo, I think, won the first round, 2 of the 3 scorecards. You know, Algeo was doing his thing, but Dooku just kept laying damage. Algeo's, you know what's crazy? I was looking at his record. He hadn't lost by knockout in 25 straight fights, and now he's knocked out in 2 straight fights. So his chin is going, unfortunately. He's taking a lot of damage during his UFC career. And, you know, I think this is a fight that we should have maybe thought about a little bit more and not just use the layoff as the reason. Because remember, Marcel, we also ask ourselves this, like, I tell you guys this all the time, like, you have to think about why did the UFC book this fight? Why did they book this fight? They probably wanted him to win. They probably wanted this guy to win and get back on track. And Kyle Nelson just knocked the guy out. So I know it was an early stoppage, but the matchmaker saw something here and something maybe we should have. I think we could have thought about this fight a little bit more. You know, there's some fights in here that I wouldn't have called regardless, but this is one where I think maybe we could have picked a dog here, maybe. So I don't know what your thoughts are, but.
You know what it is, Adam? It's difficult, you know. Somebody hasn't won for one win over 8 years, you know. And Algeo, I know Algeo is pretty inconsistent, but still, he shows up normally, in my opinion, you know. So it was like, for me, it was 50-50 at the same time. But I was like, probably a decision here, you know, and that Algeo was being smarter with the ground game is what I thought, pretty much, you know. But I didn't feel like Algeo had, like, how do you say that, an advantage on the ground when I saw him fighting Choi. And I knew that Choi still has power to put him away. At the same time, was kind of a weird ending of the fight, I felt like, you know. Algeo was already, like, had already a cut here. And then I think he got punched on the eye socket or whatever, and then it was over. You know, a good win for Choi, man. I'm happy for the dude. 8 years without a win. He's always been an entertaining fighter. For some reason, couldn't put it together the last couple of years. Had like 2 years of military service in South Korea as well. You know, so I'm happy for the guy. I always liked Choi. I know you do as well. So good for him. And let's see what this is going to bring. And at the same time, I don't know. I don't know where I have to put this win. You know what I mean? Because Algeo is super inconsistent. We'll see, man. We'll see. Yeah,
for sure. I agree. Let's get some comments. We got Svensson. He says, "What's up, Marcel? Here's your guy, Marcel." Sometimes you have to concede. The card last night was that I got every fight wrong. I mean, I did okay at 7-4, but I'm just saying, like, there's some fights. Like, this is one I should have thought about more than just a layoff. Like, it's hard to pick a guy coming off not 8 year layoff, but, you know, 8 years of not winning. But again, Bill Algeo, he's kind of just like mid, you know. So, anyways, the next fight here. Wow, I mean, what a fucking fight for as long as it lasted, right? It lasted a minute and 5 seconds. Hyder Mill landed 42 significant strikes, destroyed Jung Young Lee. Standing TKO stoppage, which is 100% fine. I think everyone would have stopped this fight. Like, the amount of punches he threw, the amount of punches he landed, in the amount of time it did. Great stoppage here with Mark Smith. Great performance by Hyder Mill. This is one of the best, like, 1 minutes of MMA you'll see. This was an amazing fight for as long as it lasted. What do you think, man?
What did Laura Senko say? She lost her pants or something? I don't know, something like that.
Well, I think she did say that. She said her button broke off her pants. I don't know what she was talking about.
Yeah. really weird. But at the same time, yeah, great win, man. I mean, it made me kind of think of Vanderlei, Vitor Belfort, or Baroni against Dave Manet. You know,
Sure.
Those flurry of punches, and man, Lee's fucking tough, dude. I mean, how many punches he took, and this was kind of like. It was also kind of like different, but like Dunfry against the Japanese guy, you remember?
Yeah,
But then Takayama, yeah. But then Lee got the most of the punches, and Emil, I think that was a 38 punch combo or something crazy, man. Never seen that before, actually. Yeah, I picked Lee in this one. I was wrong. I don't care because it was a great fight as long as it lasted. And yeah, good win for Hyder Emil. The thing is, it's like weird that they call him like a fucking prospect when the dude is 33 already. I think it's like, what you gonna do? He's like, he's not young. If he wants to fight for a title or whatever, I think he needs a couple of more fights. And it's not like he's not the youngest anymore. He came late in the UFC, man.
Hyder, yeah, he's 34 actually. Sorry, he's 34. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to like about this guy. Obviously, he's undefeated. He's fought. The thing is, before he came to UFC, he fought for LFA and Bellator, so he has big show experience. And now in the UFC, he won that fight in Contender against that Somez guy who kept trying to take him down. It was a horrible fight, and they signed him. And I wasn't sure. I got to be honest, so after that fight, I was like, I don't know, but he's looked great in the UFC. He knocked out Fernie, which doesn't tell you a lot, but this fight, I think, it's a big fight for him, man. And I think there's a lot to like about this guy. Like, I think he's very marketable, dude. And he's talking about how he wants to go to fight at Chase Center, which is where the Golden State Warriors play. He's a San Francisco guy. He wants to fight there. They should do a fight night there. I don't know if they have it in the plans, but they should do a fight night there in that card.
I mean, he's not Fernie, man. I mean, you say it doesn't.
He's tough as fuck.
He's not easy to finish, So.
Well, I just think he's easy to beat. I mean, he lost all of his fights in the UFC.
That's true. He lost all, but he's not easy to finish,
right? Wasn't it? Yeah, 0-4. But yeah, he's hard to finish. You're right. So the fact he actually stopped him is actually very impressive, to be honest with you. Anyways, I like Hyder a lot. I mean, the guy looked amazing in this fight. Let me get some comments, guys. What's up, Antoine? My side hustle target. Gotta say what's up. Glad to have you here, man. Fight Talk, what's up, man? Glad you're here. And this is the guy who does our artwork, so we appreciate you. Yeah. Horrible fight IQ from Lee. I mean, there just wasn't enough time to react, to be honest with you. The punches came so fast. And he actually rocked Hyder like early in that round, so he probably could stand with him. You guys think Virna has a real chance of being Zhang or Tatiana? Not really, because I think she doesn't match up great with them. Yeah, but she's more than deserving of a title shot, guys. I think she deserves it.
Listen, I always said, like, Seung, if she loses the title, she loses to a specialist, And both Tatiana and Jandiroba are specialists in what they're doing, So
yeah,
there's a possibility, but overall, I mean, Seung is a better fighter, I think,
This question is not for us. It's for what's his name, Tristan, but we can answer it. Bruno Silva versus Asu Almabayev. Who would you pick?
Man, if Asu can control him for 3 rounds, I pick Asu. But at the same time, I think the striking of Silva is better.
Yeah, I think Asu would be favored, but I think Bruno's got a chance. Tatiana Whaley's already in the works. Is it in the works, Marcel? You would know better than us.
I haven't heard, but I mean, that doesn't mean that it's not true, So it's possible.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it should be next, but again, Tatiana never fights, unfortunately, because I think she's great. Main event, the prelims, the only finish on the prelims. Cody Gibson submits Brian Kelleher. I think that's probably the last time we'll see Brian Kelleher in the UFC. 4 straight losses by stoppage. So I think that's probably it for him. Cody Gibson gets his first win in 10 years in the UFC. Good for Cody, man. Good for Cody.
Trivia, what was his only win in the UFC?
Charlie Bedford.
Let's go.
Yeah. So this was a big win for Cody. And I think Cody looked amazing. Like, I thought he looked amazing. Good. Yeah, he did look good. They didn't count that one strike as a knockdown. I think it was an elbow, wasn't it? The drop. Yeah. They didn't count as a knockdown. Seemed like a knockdown to me, didn't it?
To me as well.
These guys fell down after it. So, yeah, Cody looked good. Saves his job. Obviously, still, not really anywhere close to the top of the division. He's like a mid guy, but he's getting better, man. And again, this is a guy that's got a ton of experience now. So I'm happy. I was happy to see him get a win. Miranda Maverick defeats Tiani Barboza by decision. What round did that one judge give to Barboza?
I think the first.
Was it the first? Okay.
I think the first.
I guess I could see. I mean, I don't know. I thought Miranda won clearly 327.
Miranda was much more physical, man. This
was the easiest fight in the card to pick, was it not? I think it was.
Yeah, although I gotta say, man, Barboza did much better than I actually expected. She landed some good stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I think her striking looked better than I thought. Yeah. But then she started going for these like low percentage submissions, right? And then she kept going in her back. And yeah, it was the second round. Mike Bell gave it the second round. So I have to watch it back now, but I just thought Miranda won every round. Miranda's not. We talked about last week. She's not ranked, right? But she could easily be ranked. All right, we got some other comments here. Virna, I didn't realize her jits is that good. It's top level. What's up, Jamie? Happy for Superboy. He should have got a bonus too, I think, but they passed on him. It was tough. I think they should have given all 6 guys bonuses. I would have did it because the UFC kept. It would have been one of those things where Dana would have been like, "See, I fucking told you, media people, that the card was good, and we gave all the bonuses away. Like, don't listen to the media." That's what Dana should have said, but they just gave out the 4. Because, like, really, why didn't Cody get a bonus? Why didn't Dude get a bonus? Like, Bruno had a good comeback, Marcel, but was it bonus worthy? I don't know. Compared to the others, it was comeback. I agree with this guy. Was comeback of the year, maybe. Right now, at this point, it's probably up there. But overall performance, Cody Gibson should have got a bonus, right? For an overall performance, Cody destroyed Brian Geller. Chris, what's up? You didn't miss too much. We recapped the main card. It's okay. We're gonna do the UFC 304 preview in a few minutes here. Barboza looked like a better fighter. Maverick's better wrestler. Yeah, I pretty much agreed. What's Maverick's ceiling? She's like 28, I think, or something. She's like borderline top 15. That's her ceiling. Yeah. She's been in the UFC for a while. She's kind of at the same level. She doesn't make huge improvements. She's a good wrestler. Her striking's okay. She's not really going too far. Maverick versus Lipsky, I'd watch that fight. Same as Loic. Better, yeah. Ad makes a good point. Well, I appreciate that. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but I appreciate
these things don't happen often, Sven, so that's nice for you to say.
Yeah, I'll take it, though.
Just kidding.
I'll take it, though. No, I'm just joking. All right, next fight. Trey Ogden just pretty much out-wrestled Loic. 10 minutes of control time. Took him down at ease. Loic, it's crazy. Loic looks like this beast. He's so strong physically, and then you can take him down so easily. We did pick this fight right, though, Marcel. We had the consensus dog. Anything you want to say? This fight wasn't a great fight.
No, it wasn't a great fight at all. I mean, the card started shitty. Let's put it that way. And the first 3 fights were pretty horrible. Actually, first 4 fights.
Well, we're almost done talking about them, so.
Yeah. So, good win for Ogden, man. And I was happy that Armfield this time didn't butt his head in the camera.
Luana Carolou both called that one too last week. Beat Lucia Pudilova. Again, guys, don't pick fighters that are 3-8. I saw Alex Lee. He tweeted that there's only 3 fighters in UFC history with a 3-8 record. Pudilova, Ashley Yoder, and Hector Lombard. So those are, and again, Hector Lombard he came to the UFC a little late because in Bellator he was a beast. Plus he couldn't juice.
Do you know my name, Hector?
Yeah, but Ashley Yoder was not a very good fighter, and like I would fade her every chance I could. Same with Pudilova. She's just not that good. I think she's getting cut. What do you think? You think she gets cut?
I would be surprised if not. To be honest, she only won once since she came back to the UFC.
1-3. She looked great in her comeback against Wu Yan, and then she looked not good at all since then. So she's not that great. And then Luana, you know what, man? Again, I think she's a little underrated, but she's beating, like, for the most part, the lower ranked girls. She did beat Loopy though a few years ago, which is a nice win. But
but Loopy's 115 actually, right? She came up with short notice 125.
It's true, 6-3 in the UFC, which is a good record. I mean, you could say what you want, but. Yeah, she might get a top 15 opponent, though. It's possible. It's very possible. Maverick looks buff. She's very buff. We'll kick back in the 3rd round. You know what? I completely agree. Here's the thing about that fight. Loic did more damage. In that fight, but it was clearly lost. So it's actually a perfect example of why you can't say, because I remember when that fight with Bulgarian and Rodriguez happened, and people were like, "Oh, Rodriguez did more damage, you clearly won." It's like, no. Like, there's some fights where the effective grappling it's too much that a few punches doesn't override that. Yeah, it was good to see. Probably take it down. Probably. Anyways, last fight, or first fight, really. Thomas Peterson defeats Muhammad Usman. Yeah, I mean, as the week went on, Marcel, I saw a lot of people betting on Peterson, and then the line flipped, and then I think he closed as the favorite. So I kind of felt bad about this one going into it. I was like, I don't know about this one anymore, and he ended up winning clearly. Younger fighter. He had better. The fight played out like we thought. We thought it'd be a shitty striking battle between 2 shitty heavyweights, but I just didn't think that Peterson would be like way more effective on the feet, and he was. And obviously got some key takedowns too. Clearly won the fight, 30-27, right? So fight was bad though. Anything you want to say about that?
No, I mean,
yeah, I agree with Tristan. The first 4 fights were really bad. You were hoping, like, you were just wondering, like, is this card going to be this bad the whole way through? So,
at least we got more finishes than we expected,
True. Is Kamaru, I wonder how Kamaru feels watching his brother fight. He's ruining his family name. Yeah, it wasn't good performance.
Feels like the relationship Davison Figueiredo, Francisco Figueiredo, right? It's like you got one real good guy and one guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Anything else you guys want to say? Throw it in the chat right now. We're gonna end this one quick because there's not a ton to say about this. Then we can get to the UFC 304 preview. Anything else you want to say, Marcel, about this card?
Well, I remember when Muhammad Usman came in the UFC, people were asking me when he wanted the Ultimate Fighter, like, can he go as far as Kamaru? I was like, no, I don't think so.
I never thought so either.
No, me neither.
We'd seen him in PFL. He lost to Brandon Sales. Like,
exactly.
That's not a good loss to have. I think that guy retired after the tournament too. He was like 40. Usman's okay, but he's like bottom of the barrel heavyweight. I do think there's a few guys he can beat. Obviously, he has wins, but yeah, he's not that good. You know, they'll give him another fight though. He's 3-2. He has a positive record, so it's not like he's gonna be cut. But plus, his brother's UFC legend.
Okay,
so
put up the colostrum.
Yeah.
So what I've heard is that they offered more. Normally, when somebody falls through, you know, and there's a short notice, you can have or either one name or they offer you more fights, and you can choose pretty much. You know, I think Kalen picked Jake Hatley to be the opponent, and I mean it makes sense. You know, Jake Hatley is from the UK. I think it's a much. Listen, I hope that Hasher Sosa comes to the UFC as well. You know, but I think it's a much more appealing fight to the Manchester crowd to see Kalen Loughran against Jake Hatley than Loughran against Hasher Sosa. You know, so
yeah,
I understand.
It makes more sense with this card to have another English guy on the card, obviously. And watch the Fury FC. I'm not. There's just too much MMA, but
yeah.
Is it today? Is it they do Sunday, don't they?
I don't even know, man. I haven't even watched Mike Perry against Jake Paul. So.
Oh yeah, we should talk about that really quick. Let me just get these last couple of questions, and I'll talk about that fight. Virna Tatiana. I mean, we think it should be Tatiana and Whaley next, Pato. Peterson versus Hamdy. That would be fine. I'd be okay with that with Hamdy because isn't he done with suspension? He should be done.
I don't know, but please put that as the first prelim.
Kalen, yeah, we'll talk about him. He got a new fight. Islam. Dual top. Yeah, there's a lot of guys. I need to look at the prospects. All right, let's really quick talk about that fight because you didn't see it, but I'm sure you saw the result, right? Perry and Paul.
Yeah, I saw some clips online.
All right, so I watched it. Yeah, it was pretty much a beatdown, dude. I mean, it's pretty much what we expected because they were different weight classes. Like Jake Paul is so much bigger than Mike Perry. Mike Perry has terrible striking defense. Jake beat the shit out of him. And Mike did land some good shots. He won the third round, I believe. But the first two rounds were 10-8 rounds. And then I think it was the fifth or sixth round, maybe, where he got knocked out. Yeah, I mean, and then he calls out Alex Pereira after the fight, which he knows he's not getting that fight. It's just smart because everyone talks about it, right? Including me. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he calls out Mike Tyson. I'd rather see him fight Pereira because at least that's a more, fair fight. And to be honest with you, like, it's not like I love Alex, but he's not a boxer. So it's kind of an intriguing fight in some ways. They're going to do that Mike Tyson fight. They shouldn't, though. I'd rather see him fight Pereira. It won't happen no more so, but it'd be fun to see Pereira knock out Jake Paul, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you like to see that?
Who? Jake Paul against?
Pereira.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. You called him out, and Pereira wants to fight.
Yeah, of course he calls him out because he knows he's not going to fight him.
They were on FaceTime together after the fight.
I'm also on the stream yacht with you here, but I'm not going to fight you.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So
good point.
yeah, but you know what I mean. Pereira has a contract under the UFC, and he makes good money, man. So why would he even do that, man? I mean, and I don't think Dana would be fond of that, to be honest. He can't stand Jake Paul, so.
Yeah,
he likes Logan, but he can't stand Jake. So
apparently, Connor fired Perry from. I saw that. Is that real? I mean, some tweet. He is a co-owner though, so I didn't know Mike Perry had a promotion. He has a promotion. I had no idea. I thought he just fought for bare knuckle. I mean, I'm not completely up to date with this stuff, but what's up, Marcus? Glad to have you here, man. We're gonna finish the podcast though. You jumped in at the wrong time, and we'll talk about this. Yeah, I think we should just end it, Marcel, because we're going to do another podcast here, guys. We're going to do the preview for 304. So you guys can save your questions for then. We'll answer them at the end of that podcast. So just give me a second here. I'm going to tweet out it's called Dirty Boxing, Mike Perry. I didn't know. I had no idea. That's cool though. Maybe that's why you got fired. Okay, just give me a second, guys. So, I'll tweet out the UFC 304 preview link, and we'll go through that card. Just give me a minute here, okay?